Okay kids, it's time for books, so cuddle up to Mum and Dad and let's rock and read. Today I'll be reading you the 5th and 6th chapters of Wayside School Beneath the Cloud of Doom. Chapter 5. Eric, and what's his name? Oh, that's right, Eric. There are 3 Erics in Miss Jules' class. Eric Fry, Eric Bacon, and the other one who everyone always forgets, Eric Ovens. Eric Fry is strong and fast. He's usually the first one chosen when picking teams. Eric Bacon is funny, clever, and just a little bit sneaky. Everyone in Miss Jules' class likes him, but no one completely trusts him. Eric Ovens is kind, quiet, and 100% trustworthy. Sadly, that kind of person is often overlooked. But not today, he thought, as he sat at his desk, patiently waiting for Miss Jules to finish taking attendance. Today would be his day of glory. In his pocket were a plastic bag with 83 nail clippings. 2 numbers had been written on the blackboard, 71 and 2,677. So far, the class had a total of 2,677 nail clippings. 71 were the most brought in by any one kid. They didn't just have to be toenails, fingernails counted too. Eric Ovens took out his bag out of his pocket and placed it on his desk. "How many you got?" whispered Kathy, who sat next to him. Eric didn't want to jinx his big day by saying the number aloud. Besides, he knew Kathy would only say something mean or mock him. Miss Jules closed her attendance book. "Anyone have any nail clippings this morning?" Eric Ovens raised his hand. "Yes, Eric," said Miss Jules. Eric Ovens quietly pushed the chair back, but before he could get up, he saw Eric Fry already making his way to the front of the room. 40, Eric Fry declared proudly. Eric Fry kept his hand in a fist all morning. Everyone thought he was just trying to be tough. Now he opened his fist and let 40 nail clippings fall into the collection bucket. "Well done, Eric," said Miss Jules. Everyone clapped their hands. Eric Ovens smiled as he clapped his hands too. 83 was more than double 40. Eric Fry did the maths on the board. 2,677 plus 40 equals 2,717. "Halfway to 1,000,000, cheered Stephen. "Not quite," Alison told him. "Anyone else in Miss Jules?" Again, Eric Ovens raised his hand. But Eric Bacon had already hopped out of his seat and was heading towards the front of the room. He handed Miss Jules a plastic bag full of nail clippings. 349, he declared triumphantly. The class went wild. Shari gasped. Stephen fell out of his chair. Eric Bacon danced around Miss Jules' desk like a football player who had scored a touchdown. Miss Jules was skeptical of the spectacle. "I could count them," she warned. Eric stopped dancing. "Go ahead," he challenged her. Miss Jules stared Eric Bacon in the eye. Eric Bacon stared back. Miss Jules dumped the bag on her desk and divided the clippings into 4 piles. She asked Damien, Alison, and John to help. They each took a pile, and then Miss Jules added their totals together. 349, she announced, just as Eric said. Again, everyone cheered, and Eric Bacon continued his victory dance. "How did you get so many?" Miss Jules asked him. Eric B stopped dancing. "I went door to door asking my neighbours," he said. Everyone laughed. Leslie had sold wrapping paper door to door, but she couldn't imagine asking people for their toenails. "It's easier than asking for money," said Eric. Everyone was happy to donate. He erased the number 71 and put 349 in its place. Then he did the math. 2,717 plus 349 equals 3,066. "Almost 1,000,000! Stephen called out. "Not even close," muttered Alison. Miss Jules told Eric Bacon to take a Tootsie Roll Pop from her coffee can. He took one. Then when she wasn't looking, he took another. Anyone else, Miss Jules? Eric Ovens sat glumly at his desk. Raise your hand, urged Kathy. Why bother, he muttered. Kathy got up from her seat and stood next to him. She grabbed Eric's arm and raised it for him. Eric Ovens brought a whole lot, she announced. Bring them on up, Miss Jules. He had no choice. It's just 83, he said, and then emptied his bag into the nail bucket. That's the second most ever, shouted Kathy. She started clapping. Amazingly, everyone else clapped too. They were still clapping as he did the math on the board. 3,066 plus 83 equals 1,449. That's closer to 1,000,000, exclaimed Stephen. Everybody cheered. Even Alison couldn't argue with that. Chapter 6. Apoptosis. Eric Ovens wasn't the only one who had noticed that Kathy had become nice. Others too began to notice her odd behaviour. I like your picture, Kathy told Bibi. What's wrong with it? Bibi asked. Nothing, said Kathy. Kathy, it's perfect. You are very talented. It took Bibi a moment to realise that Kathy hadn't insulted her. Miss Jules also noticed the change. Kathy, will you come here, please? She asked. Kathy approached her teacher's desk. Yes, Miss Jules? She asked. Miss Jules smiled. You have been doing very well, Kathy, she said. I've noticed a real improvement in your work and in your attitude. That must be because you're such a good teacher, said Kathy. Well, thank you, said Miss Jules. But there's a tiny little problem. I'm having a hard time reading your homework. What do you mean? Look at it, said Miss Jules, showing Kathy her most recent homework assignment. What's wrong with it? Asked Kathy. First thing we learned in physiology school, Dr. Pickle said as he patted DJ on the head. My hiccups are all gone. DJ told Kathy. Who cares? Kathy grumbled. Would you mind stepping inside my office, young lady? But he's the sicko, said Kathy, pointing at DJ. Please, said Dr. Pickle. She entered the counsellor's office. That beard is really ugly. I guess your face must be even worse, huh? Mr. Pickle didn't get angry. He just stroked his beard and said, Very interesting. Kathy sniffed. Smells like pickles, she commented. Very interesting indeed, the counsellor said, and the knight started to sit down. Kathy sat on the couch. Lumpy, she complained. I'm going to try a little experiment, said Dr. Pickle. I'm going to say a word, and then I want you to say the first word that pops into your head. Stupid, said Kathy. I haven't started yet, said Dr. Pickle. Sloppy, said Kathy. Dr. Pickle realised he had better hurry and get started. Cold, he began. Hot, Kathy replied. Hard, soft, skinny, fat. This is kind of fun, isn't it, Kathy, said Dr. Pickle. No, it's boring, said Kathy. Worse than I thought, said Dr. Pickle. I studied your condition in physiology school. I'm afraid you had a bad case of apoptosis. No, I don't. You do. Dr. Pickle stroked his beard. Unfortunately, there was no known cure for apoptosis. Other physiologists had tried to help their patients to learn to be kind and think positively. Dr. Pickle knew that would never work on Kathy. He had his own theory, however. He could try to turn her opposites into double opposites. He opened his desk drawer and took out his pickle stone and chain. Kathy watched the green stone as it gently swung back and forth. She fell asleep on the count of 5. Can you hear me? Kathy, he asked. And I can smell you too, she replied. You are looking into a mirror, he told her. I'm looking into a mirror, Kathy repeated, eyes closed. Tell me what you see. I see a beautiful girl with black hair, she said. And I see a funny-looking man with a pointy beard. Very good, said Dr. Pickle. Now I want you to reach out and touch the mirror. Kathy slowly moved her arm. But as you try to touch it, said Dr. Pickle, you'll discover the mirror isn't solid. Your hand will go right through it. Kathy stuck her hand out further. It's weird, she said. Now stand up and walk through the mirror. Kathy stood up. She took one step, then another. She hesitated for a moment and then took one last step. Amazing! She exclaimed. You are on the other side of the mirror, said Dr. Pickle. What do you see? Kathy looked around. Nice office, she said. She sniffed. Smells nice too. I'm glad you like it, said Dr. Pickle. Would you like to sit on the couch? Kathy sat back down. Very comfortable, she noted. When I count to 3, you will wake up, but you will still be on the other side of the mirror. 1, 2, 3. Kathy opened her eyes. How do you feel? He asked her. Fine, thanks, said Kathy. How are you? Very well, thank you, said Dr. Pickle. Do you mind if we continue with a little experiment? Sounds like fun, said Kathy. Happy, said Dr. Pickle. Smile, said Kathy. Smart, said Dr. Pickle. Miss Jules, said Kathy. Friend, said Dr. Pickle. DJ, said Kathy. Dr. Pickle led her to the door. Thank you, Dr. Pickle, she said, shaking his hand. You are very wise, and I like your beard. What's wrong with my homo? Asked Kathy. It's written backwards, Miss Jules. Every sentence, every word, every letter. Even the numbers are backward. Looks normal to me, said Kathy. Do you want me to do it over? Miss Jules sighed. No, that's all right, Kathy. I'm just happy to see you doing so well. I'll figure it out. Kathy smiled and then returned to her seat. And that is chapter 5 and 6 of Waste High School, Beneath the Cloud of Doom. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye!